welcome to another episode of Radio with Pictures in the Field from our divisional consultations in the North, where we've been listening to rural women leaders having a lot of in-depth discussions about their human security and development priorities. In previous episodes, we were listening to women from Rambi, Mbua and Savu talking about why it's important to provide income generation for women in their communities. And we were also listening to women from the Madhawata rural areas talking about the need to listen to the voices of women when it comes to development, particularly in terms of infrastructural development. And in this episode, I'm joined by representatives from the Madhawata urban area. And at the table, we have Mereia Tabuvale, who is a member of the Bulileka women's group. And Mereia, you also represent the root crop section for the Labasa Market Vendors Association. We also have Reverend Angela Prasad, who is an ordained minister for the Anglican Association of Women. Thank you for joining us today, Reverend. And also representing the Vunicuicui Multiracial Women's Group, as well as the Vanua Levu Arya Mahila Mandal, and the Vunicuicui Arya Mahila Mandal, Nirmala Sharma. Thank you for joining us, Niru. And finally, we have Mareta Tagivakatini, who is the handicraft representative of the Labasa Market Vendors Association. Welcome, ladies. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I want to come straight into talking about what we want to see change when it comes to development, because listening to all the groups that you're representing, I think it's kind of fair to say that we all belong to very well organized women's groups and women's networks around Labasa. Is that fair to say? That you belong to your networks, right? But how easy is it for women from your networks to meet and mobilize? So I'd like us to think about the weather conditions, the road conditions. How easy is it for women to meet? Reverend Angela, I want to come to you first, because you live in Nirmala, right?
Yes. The area I live in is a low-lying area, and the main concern is our road infrastructure and drainage system. As it is continuing to rain, and our road is in a very bad condition, a lot of potholes, and the road is being used by students, workers, and pregnant mothers, children going to school, kindergarten, and it's really hard and difficult. Even the water comes up to the walkway, the footpaths, and I see the children when they go, they wet their sandals and shoes. It is a serious issue. And also blockage of drainage, and we see that these drains are blocked and the water comes right into our compounds and destroys our backyard gardens. We plant a lot of vegetables for our home use, and this has been destroyed, and now we have to buy from the market, and there's not enough vegetable in the market as well, and we have to spend a lot of money on that. Like a person like me, we are retired people, and we have to really budget our money, and that is causing a problem. And also we have waterborne diseases. There's a lot of mosquitoes in our area. We cannot sit outside when it's hot. In the night, so much mosquitoes are there, and people get sick from that, especially dengue and leptospirosis, this kind of diseases, and it affects our health.
So there's a lot of issue just from one bad drain.
And then health issues is again there. When we come to the hospitals, most of the time the tablets are not there, and we have to spend money on buying tablets and all that.
And how long has this drainage problem been affecting?
It has been affecting for a long time, before TC Winston. And that drainage problem is there because we have a lot of people living in the Tiri area, in Namara at the back, and it gets flooded most of the time. So,
okay. Thank you, Reverend Angel. Niru, living in Vunicuicui, we were talking this morning and you said that the Siberia Road is flooded. How long has this been happening?
I think this problem has been since 15 years back.
15 years.
And 15 years back, when I say it was not this worst, but within 5 years we can see that the road easily get flooded on and in. It's just a little bit water, it rains, so it get flooded.
So the road conditions are getting
it's getting worse.
Thank you, Niru. Mareta and Mereia, you're both market vendors selling in Labasa, and the market is right beside the river. So I'd like to come to you first, Mereia. What happens to the market vendors every time it rains?
Due to these bad weather conditions, it's very hard for us market vendors because we are waiting for the farmers because due to the road condition, they are our suppliers in the market. The cost of the vegetables and fruits are very expensive.
How much does it cost?
For example, bean costs $4 now a bundle. Before it was $2, and it's very hard for us because of the flooding of the river. The supplies we bring.
Okay, thank you, Mereia. And for you, Mareta, what's your experience of the market vendors? How long have you been selling at the market?
I've been there for the last 3 years, but being at the association, I've heard that those who have been there for the last 20 years, they've been raising these issues all along, that when farmers or women selling outside, they always get wet or dusty during that dry season. And 75% to 90% of all women vendors in the Pacific are women, and the market is like central to everyone. And when we see women standing there during the rain, it really affects us because, like myself, I'm shifted to a double story for the handicraft, and when we look down, when we saw women standing there, they try to hold on to the tarpaulins when it rains or when strong winds are there. We felt sorry for them because we women, like what I've said, that more women are market vendors rather than men. And
So they're feeling the impact of the
impact of this wet season, as we are in the season now.
Yes. Thank you, Mareta. So if I can sum up what you're saying, as women leaders and representatives of the different clubs that we bring to the table, we need good roads to be able to access the health centres. We need good roads to grow our food as for backyard gardening, but also as market vendors to be able to earn an income for our families. And to earn an income for families. So keeping that in mind and understanding that this has been an ongoing issue for several years now, a lot of years, and looking at how development happens. What is development like now, and what needs to change when it comes to influencing development? So Niri, I'd like to come to you because Vunicuicui, you've successfully lobbied for electricity to come to your community, but now it's the issue of roads. So when it comes to development, what needs to change?
Like we need to see that this going this Mereia road, upgrading of the roads, like having good drainage and culverts even. So this needs to be urgently done because we have been suffering from a lot. And I tell you my experience that yesterday when I was going back from this consultation, I was like in the queue because of this Mereia road was flooded. So I had to wait like nearly 4 hours to cross that road. And so many of the people who were going back from school, going back from work were in this incident. So looking at that, we need this to be happen very soon so that people are not suffering again from this problem. So we need this upgrading of the roads to be done urgently.
So I'd like to look at that. So we need to, looking at how the decisions are made when it comes to the development of the road, and looking at your experiences of a woman, what's not working and why isn't it happening? Why has it been an ongoing issue? What have they been missing in the development plans?
I think the missing is that we need more women to participate in decision making, so that when women come there, I think they will follow up like this kind of matters gently, because I have been a spokesperson for national rural electrification. I have an experience and challenges I have been facing, and through my experience I can say that if we bring more women in decision making to participate, I think women will be following it properly.
Mereia, I can see you nodding to what Niru is saying. Do you agree that more women need to be into decision making?
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do we need more women?
We need more women because women understands our problem easily than men.
So Mareta, you are a market vendor, and you were saying earlier that around 80% of market vendors are women, and you're an executive member of the Vendors Association. Do you see that same 80% representation in the executive position?
Yes. There are 13 committee members. There only 3 are men.
Only
and
3 men?
The rest are women.
Okay.
Like our president is a woman, and the treasurer secretary are all women. Only the vice president is male, and there are other 2 are males.
And so how is it when you're meeting as the executive and you're discussing the issues that the vendors are facing with the very bad weather that we're experiencing and the decisions that are being made? Tell me about that. What's that like?
Yes, we are taking it up, and we can have the female to be, or women to be at the local government level to improve our market facility, and reassesses user-fee policies following consultations with women vendors. And we want to see that that can be allowed us executive members, so that we can be represented in the women to be in the local government, so that it can make it easier for us to handle the issues that we are facing at the market.
To speak to women and have your views heard and listened.
Yes, the women market vendors are really behind us women executive committee members in the market.
Thank you, Mareta. Reverend Angela, I want to come to you because I'd like to look at those who are in decision and those who are making decisions on behalf of the communities that they're representing. Mareta was saying that we need more women to come and listen, more women in local government to listen to the views of the market vendors, listen to the views of the executive members. But I'd like to ask about the training that's given to local government officials. What kind of training do they need to be able to be good leaders and represent effectively?
I'd like to say that more ladies are needed in decision-making process, to be in district and divisional meetings. But to be included in that, we need ladies to be trained up, to be more educated, to attend consultations like family, and know the system, how it works, to understand, so that ladies are given the chance to work into the system, and they will understand, and they'll understand the difficulties the ladies are going through. So being in that decision making process, what we are suffering now, the development, it can be pushed faster than the rate it's going now.
Okay, thank you. So finally, to wrap up for today, as women leaders, we're talking about we need to have more women leaders, we need to receive training, but I think we also need to celebrate our leadership and the work that we're doing as mothers, as wives, but also first and foremost as leaders, and that message that we want to give to other women. So Mareta, Mereia, I'd like to come to you. What's your message for other women market vendors?
Women, I listen today, education is very important. It contributes us to move forward. Be involved yourself in club meetings and in association that you are, and try to move forward.
Thank you, Mereia. Niru?
Women who are listening to me, I would like to tell them that come out from your house. This is not the time to stay inside your house. Just look after your house. Come out from your house. Take part. Participate in decision making in all levels. Like for example, women can be a JP, a woman can be a advisory council. So take part. This is the time I urge all the rural women leaders to come out and participate in decision making in all level.
Thank you, Niru. Mareta, you're a woman decision maker, you're participating. What's your message?
Do not say to yourself that you are mothers. We are leaders. So what men can do, you can also do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mareta. Reverend Andrea?
Thank you. My message to all the women out there is to know your rights. You must know your rights and to voice out your needs and come out of the box. The place for women is not only the kitchen, it's a mother, but you can be leaders. Like for example, myself, I'm a leader. I'm a priest. I'm leading my people, and also I'm taking part in other social work. I do visiting, I visit the villages, and I spread the message of God. When I can do it, you can do it too. Thank you.
And with those words, that's it for this episode of Radio with Pictures in the Field. Thank you for joining us.